Once again, in this video I will show you how you can trade inefficiencies or price imbalances or thin runs or skinny runs. There are many names to call this phenomenon which occurs every day in trading. We are on GBP USD daily chart. So whenever you see a rapid price moves like this, I will show you this one. They are called thin run or price imbalance. You see, and they tend to be filled by price. Price tends to reverse and fill this run. You see, as it does here. Yeah, you see, it fills back to the. This is what ICT calls ORI block, and Chris Laurie calls it apex or base. You see, it's better to draw it along the shadows. Yeah, you can call it this as the order block. So price breaks from this order block, from this apex, and makes a thin run, and then it fills back this inefficiency, this price imbalance in thin run. And it does it all the time, and it forms, so to say, fractals. This is from Chris Laurie. I can refer you to Chris Laurie to learn more about this, about the thin runs. This is a thin run which had been filled back to the point of release. Point of release of this rapid move of this thin run was here somewhere. You see, and price filled it to the point of release and formed a fractal. Here is another. This thin run got filled again. You see, this is a thin run which was filled, and again a new fractal, another thin run which got filled. So wherever you see thin runs, they usually get filled. Also here, see, it's a thin run here. Thin price run, inefficiency, price imbalance, price exhaustion on the top, and you see it got filled completely to the order block, to the base or apex. This is not my teaching. This is what Chris Laurie teaches. I refer you to Chris Laurie and ICT. Well, the original teacher of this theory of thin runs, price imbalances is Chris Laurie. ICT was his student, and he learned this from him. So here another thin run which could eventually fill it completely. This thin run was never filled. It's not guaranteed it will be filled like 100%, but most of times, especially in GBP pairs, this is thin run, you see, and it got filled completely to the. Chris Laurie called this clean breaking point, like this. Here, this is a clean breaking point. You see, that's where price breaks through. This is a clean breaking point. That's how Chris Laurie. ICT has some other name for this. Here, changes the teachings of Chris Laurie. But here you see a thin run and price fill it to clean breaking point. So you can use this. You have to watch thin runs. You have to watch. That's something what I watch. Like here, thin run here, which was not filled. This one was filled, but very often they are getting filled. You see, this one was filled, and this one was filled. So most of times they get filled. You see, the price moves in fractals, and you see here, especially in uptrend, you see price goes up and it fills back, goes up, fills back. Not always completely filled. Well, like here it gets eventually filled, but the question is, you don't know when it will get filled. That's why I use other strategies. And this is just a brief introduction for you to thin runs and how they get filled. and this was a thin run. You can easily see them because they look very skinny. Price looks very skinny, like here, you see. And usually those point of releases of those thin runs, they are very sensitive points, like this one here was the beginning of this thin move, and you see price reacted here, move it up maybe hundreds of pips up reaction at this point of release. So this is where price releases. This is called point of release, and then this is a clean breaking point, and that's where the price breaks through. This would be clean breaking point from this base, so to say. And this is another clean breaking point here. You see reaction here, you see reaction here also. So, and this is another thin run. Price goes back to the base where it broke. It forms fractals, fractal. So I refer you to the teachings of Chris Laurie. You can subscribe to his course, FX course, where you can learn more about the price imbalances, like this is price imbalance. Price imbalance is here. You can learn about those thin run price imbalance, or price inefficiency is here. And that's what Chris Laurie always watches, those thin runs and how they get filled. This is also what ICT teaches. It's not very difficult. Just you look for skinny runs like this one, but you can always get trapped if you use this just standalone system. It's hard because not always they get filled. There is a tendency very often, especially when price is ranging, price forms those fractals. But like here, it wasn't, well, eventually it was probably filled, but yeah, it was filled, the thin run. But you see, it got filled, but a long time you have to wait. So most of times they do get filled, those thin runs, to the point of releases or to the clean breaking point. Like here it was a clean breaking point. You see price filled it exactly to the clean breaking point. And so you have to watch those fractals, and that's how Chris Laurie trades. I have much respect for him. I took his course, and that's what I learned there. I'm sharing this with you. But I refer you to Chris Laurie. This is not my teaching. This is Chris Laurie, and all the credits to him go to him for this system. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best in your trading.